Here's a multi-millionaire confession. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the truth. I made my first million at 24, my second million at 25, my first 10 million at the age of 28, 9 figures in my 30s. And looking back at my life, I have come to some conclusion. I'm hoping this video is part of my no BS truth, give it to you straight. There's a lot of things on YouTube where people are flashing cash, cars, and planes and helicopters, all of which are not important. But I'm going to tell you some of the regrets and some of the life advice. Whether you're brand new or whether you're established, these are the type of life realizations that you can either fix and stop dead in their tracks or start adopting. And I'm going to tell you some things looking back and reflecting. Why have I achieved so much success? Why am I continuously growing? Why am I not more successful than I am? And I came to the realization, and I hope that these lessons are going to be very imperative for you so that you can continue a journey, because success is not a destination. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month, 10 years from now as well, which is the beauty of entrepreneurism. We live in an unknown. We are doing things, we sort of gave up certainty. And those who have certainty in entrepreneurism really created their own job. And that's not what business is all about. So number one, the biggest mistake is I used to care a lot about what people think. And what other people think about you is none of your business, right? As human beings, we're always looking to be acceptance, especially when you start up and you want to start a business or grow your business and your family and friends tell you, no, it's not going to work. It's a scam. It's a business. Don't do it. Ironically, when Oprah starts a business or a celebrity, it's amazing. But when you want to start a business, it's a scam and it won't work as well. And the minute that you relieve yourself from the opinions of others, it's actually one of the most liberating things. No matter how much success I have, there's still people say, oh, JT's this, or JT's that, or JT's a scam, or it's not going to work, or he's going to fall. It's a reflection upon them. You see, when someone can't do something themselves, they won't tell you can't do it. And so when I release myself of other people's opinions, it really sort of gives me that internal happiness as well. Then lesson number two, a lot of people settle. Business is hard. It's not easy. There's no shortcut. There's no formula. And sometimes when we have these goals, whatever it is, I'm going to do 100 properties or I'm going to have this net worth. When we don't hit that net worth, instead of feeling bad for ourselves, we settle. Well, money's not important for me. And so we don't do enough. We don't push enough. We quit too soon. And no matter what I'm telling you, you cannot quit too soon. It's a mistake that you're going to have. When people die, they don't die with the things that they regret they did. We die with the regrets of the things we did not do. And so go for it. You don't live once, you live every single day, and you die once. Number three, sometimes you have to show gratitude. The people that help you on the way up are often the same people you're going to see on the way down, because that's what life is. We go have ups and we have downs. But you'd be shocked how many people sometimes, the people that do a lot for them, we don't show enough gratitude. We don't go to the people and say, thank you for making me who I am today. Thank you for taking a chance on me as well, because we become complacent and then something happens. Just imagine in the days of COVID that when people were dying of COVID and their loved ones or friends or family or people they knew, they couldn't even visit and say goodbye. They had to do it through an iPad or an iPhone or Zoom. And it really puts things in perspective for you as well, that we should be absolutely grateful and appreciative for the things that we have. But more importantly, we have to give appreciation. And sometimes the people that we appreciate, the things they do for us, they will stop doing the things that we appreciate about them unless we thank them. So you know what? A thank you once in a while and gratitude actually goes a long way, because deep down as human beings, we all want to feel validated. And then the next one is a lot of people, they sort of give in. They don't take their place in the world. They give up too soon, and they don't take it because they say, I'm not like that. They sort of shy away from confrontation. They don't fight for what they want. And if you believe something strong enough, you have to fight every inch, claw and fight and bleed, because in the end, you have to stand up for yourself. And so when you stand up for yourself, you know what? It feels good when you get that victory, because it means that you're identifying yourself. You're not letting anyone push you over. Now, you have to know your role for the food chain. And anybody thinks there is no food chain in business, right? Just like the hyena can go after the lion, and there's like in the shark and the whale and the fish, there is a role. There is a food chain. If you don't think there's a food chain in business, and that you think everybody in the jungle is equal, everybody in the ocean is equal, or everybody in this world is equal. Now, we live in a woke world where everybody's this and in all these different titles, and we're all equal, and we're not all equal. There's this notion in Scandinavia, Norway and Sweden, called janteloven. Everybody is the way it is. No one is better than anybody else. And you'll see a lot of successful people, they hate that because we're not equal. Some of you are watching this video. Hopefully you're still watching it. And by the way, please like and comment on it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it. The more you do this, the more video I'm going to put out there. And I'm hoping the truth that I'm giving you are things that I experienced yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But why should I be equal to someone who doesn't want to better themselves, who is not watching a video like this, who have a lot of excuses? Why should I subject myself to that as well? So we're not all equal. Some want it more. I want it more. You want it more. So why should I be equal to everybody else? And so this notion of janteloven, or in Sweden, jantelagen, that a lot of successful people don't like that. Only the weak people want to be like everybody else. Just like people say, oh, rich people should pay taxes. Well, do you pay any taxes? They're like, no. Then of course you don't pay taxes. You want other rich people to pay taxes. Now, if you ask a rich person, you want to pay more tax, the majority will say no. Why? I can reinvest in my business. I can scale. It's not like people are just hoarding hordes of cash. I can spend more, hire more. As an entrepreneur, we are incentivized. If you incentivize me to hire or to spend, I'm going to do it. But if you penalize me because I make more money, I'll work less. And so that's what people don't understand about entrepreneurs. We're a different breed. The next one is people say, do what you love. Doing what you love is an absolute mystery. And I'll tell you why it's a mystery, because you don't do what you love. You have to love business. Let's say you want to do a business about knitting. You're like, I hate knitting, right? Well, it doesn't mean that you hate knitting. That if you are actually doing the work of knitting, then that means you're working in your business rather than on your business. But if you're working on the business of knitting, then you're worried about, where am I buying supplies, custom, duties, where am I selling, website, direct sales, stores, distribution, hiring. It doesn't matter what the product is. You don't do the work that you love. You need to love business as well. Next one is thinking you can change family and friends, and you can't. They are the way they are, and you have two choices. You have to fire the negative people in your life, or you have to accept them the way they are and say, if you're going to be negative or you're going to be like that, I'm just going to walk away. But most people don't change. But ironically, how you change is how you succeed. And so when you look at that perspective, it changes everything to me. And I realized that I can't change my own family. I can't change some of the people. And that's why I have a circle of influence that's different, right? Where you learn is where you earn. That's why I created a yearly event called Mega Success, the Super Bowl of all events. That is why every week I have over 400 billionaires, multimillionaires on Zoom that share relationships, share deals, share ideals. And by the way, it's free for you to attend. The link is there below, because your network equals your net worth. That's why I want to be around people that motivate me, that inspire me, that make me better. Not they're going to pull me down. Not they're going to say everything's a scam. Not people who point the finger at you, but they got three fingers pointing back at them as well. I don't want people to do that as well. The next one is related to children. A lot of people tell their children what to do, but they don't lead by example. And your children do not follow your advice, they follow your example. And so sometimes when people say, well, I sacrifice so that my kid can do and achieve what they want to achieve. And the problem is that the message you're telling your kids is that, well, they need to sacrifice, because you are telling your children, I sacrifice for you. So they're going to sacrifice for their children and their children, their children. So you create a legacy, a generational line of people who keep sacrificing because they're following your example, rather than saying, you know what, I did it all. Mommy had this great family, this great marriage, this great business. We did it all. So that you can have it all, sometimes not at the same time. But that's the example we need to show. No man or woman should be sacrificing for another individual. As I said before, you don't live once, you live every single day, and you die once as well. That's the point. Would you tell your daughter at this point, well, sacrifice for another man? Would you tell your son, one day you'll sacrifice for your family, sacrifice your dreams and your vision? There are too many people that are sacrificing rather than learning how to do it all, or starting early. Too many people start entrepreneurism too late as well. So, and then most people, they don't appreciate what they have. And so they take life for granted. And one thing is just the fact COVID happened. I was on the road over 300 days out of the year, different city, different country. And I was like mentally drained. All of a sudden, boom, no travel, no nothing, no airplanes. Now you got masks, all that stuff. And the point is, you know what? Maybe I should have spent extra time. When I was tired at the end of the day, after speaking and doing business, maybe I should have gone out to walk around. Maybe I should have gone to a restaurant as well. And so I sort of realized that I need to live more in the moment, and all the things that I said that I didn't do, I probably should have done as well. And then learned that work is not work. And so I love the game of business. I love business. I hate losing more than I love winning. And so I just look at business as a game, and money's how it keeps score. And a lot of people think work is work. It's not work. The thing is, you need to treat business like a game. And I think that's a mistake that often people do. And then having been to do business personally in 55 countries, having been to over 80 countries, I have to say, people have to travel more, experience different people, races, culture, environment. I think it gives you a perspective as well. And I think and it's not about just going to some beach in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking about travel, culture, studying people, talking to the Uber or taxi or Lyft driver, getting to know the culture. I think that made me a better businessman, a better entrepreneur, and a better human being. And I think too many people don't travel a lot. And then stop listening to advice of people who make less money than you or less successful than you as well. I only take advice from people that are more successful than me. It's not that people that make less money than me that I don't listen to, but why am I taking advice from people about what to do when they're less successful than me? So that's a mistake that people have. And then also too, it doesn't matter how much money you have in the world. If you don't have your health, it doesn't matter as well. So here's the thing. Health is the ultimate wealth. And the last one is you have to learn how to take risk. If you take risk out, you take opportunity out. There's too many people who are afraid of risk. You know why you're afraid of risk? You're afraid of what your family and friends are going to say if you fail. You're afraid of losing. And when you're afraid of losing, where you're afraid of other people think, you start making dumb mistakes. You start living a version of what other people want you to think rather than think of yourself as well. And just know that, you know what? Stop overthinking. Too many people overthink. There's 3 ways to think: mind, heart, and gut. Start thinking with your gut. What is your first gut instinct thing? Stop overthinking. Start going for it. Start taking risk. And you're going to realize that if you start being a gut-based entrepreneur, you will succeed as well. I hope these tips here will make you realize and watch this video more than once of exactly what does it take to succeed. And these are lessons. These are life lessons. And I've had over 700 hours of coaching in the last 10 years. I have over 4 billionaire partners as well, businesses all over the world. I was a stutter. I was broke. My whole life, people say I would never make it, and I still hear it. But you know what? It fuels me and it motivates me to succeed. So I'm here, and this channel is here to give you the no BS truth, no fluff, not this hype, not about money and stacks of cash and all that, all the stuff that doesn't matter. Because I literally spent this week with Anna Wintour from Vogue, Tom Brady, yes, and I'll do a video about that, 2 billionaires, and they had one thing. None of them flash. None of them talk about it. They talked about legacy. They talked about significance, and they were authenticity. Not one of them bragged about what they have to try to impress people so they can buy their products and courses. In fact, if you go to the link below, I will give you 5 of my free courses for free, nothing to sell you as well. Marketing, branding, how I do real estate, how I learn my money, how do I scale my business, because I want to be a person of value. That's what this channel is about. All I ask is you put a comment below, please. Love to hear your thoughts about this video. Other videos you'd like me to see, click the subscribe button as well. And if you could share it, it'd be even great as well. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the time you have. I know there's a lot of things that you can watch here on YouTube, and the fact that you're watching here means the world to me as well. We'll see you next time. Also, I have a podcast every single day. I give the truth 365 days a year. You can look me up, JT Fox, on Spotify and podcasts, of course, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The link is there below. We'll see you on the next video. And maybe there's one of those videos here you'd like to watch that would be very beneficial to your learning. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.